Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Anju Sharma and today we'll learn about long-term BP regulation. In last video we have covered short-term BP regulation. Okay, so this is CVS and this we are approaching toward end of the CVS session. This is very important topic, BP regulation, the whole BP regulation, not only long term. Short term and long term are frequently asked in examination. So this is my English channel. If you want these videos in Hindi, you can visit my Physiology Hacks, the main channel that is of Hindi. Right. If you want notes, you can drop me in comment box and I'll drop one WhatsApp number also in description. You can demand notes there. Okay, so let's start. This is very brief video, long-term BP regulation, and obviously mostly it is being asked as a long question, right? So let's start. So long-term BP regulation is the work of kidney. Okay, short-term is all the reflexes, the neural reflexes, and if they are not able to manage, they are not able to bring the BP back to normal, then this is the regulation which comes into play. It can actually manage the BP for many years. Okay, so let's start. So first is we'll be talking about in two sections. One is the renal body fluid system, and second thing we very well know that this is RAS. Okay, so in these two sections, so one is or you can directly add pressure diuresis or pressure natriuresis directly heading. Okay, one heading is this one and second heading is RAS mechanism. So these 2 points you should be explaining here whenever long-term BP regulation is being asked, right? Okay, so let's see. So basically what happens whenever blood volume increases and blood pressure increases, kidney is very good at managing that, very good really. So by two mechanism, one is pressure diuresis and one is pressure natriuresis. What is diuresis? Diuresis is nothing but increased excretion of urine, right? So what happens whenever there is increased BP, how kidney can compensate that? Kidney can reduce it by increasing the excretion from it, right? So kidney has a tremendous ability to increase the excretion of excess fluids or water from kidney or from body to manage the BP. So the same thing happen here. So whenever there is high blood pressure, the kidney start excreting fluids and which ultimately reduce BP. But how much extent we are talking about here? So at 50 mmHg, kidney output is approx nil, right? At 100 mmHg it's normal, okay? And at 200 mmHg, which is double, whenever the blood pressure in our body, it gets double, what kidney does is, kidney from normal, it increases the excretion of fluids till 6 to 8 times. The same thing is also shown by graph. Whenever BP rises, how much output of kidney increases. So if you can see 50, there is nil. At 100, it's around 2 times, right? So normal output of urine. And whenever there is 200 mmHg, which is double than normal, you can see that the blood pressure has just doubled, but the output has been increased 6 to 8 times, right? So that is the main function of kidney, which we can't actually leave during explanation. So the same thing happens for sodium also, and we know that sodium is always followed by water. So pressure natriuresis, that is called. So water excretion diuresis and sodium excretion natriuresis. So whenever BP rises, kidney start excreting double the salt in urine called natriuresis, right? And that is since sodium is always followed by water, so sodium excretion means water excretion along with that, which reduces the BP. Okay, so this is first point. We can write heading renal body fluid system, or you can write pressure diuresis or pressure natriuresis. This is really powerful mechanism but very slow acting. Okay, now long-term mechanism, if you, for example, if you forget these 2 points and you write RAS, you will get marks, for sure you will get marks. That is the most important mechanism. But if you want to score best, then you have to add these 2 points also, right? Okay, now let's see what is RAS. So this is RAS mechanism. RAS stands for R for renin, A for angiotensin, A for aldosterone system. Okay, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone. These three things we should know from where they are secreted and what is their function. That's all about RAS, right? So what happens basically whenever there is decrease in blood volume, hypovolemia, decrease in BP, hypotension, or decrease in sodium concentration, that is hyponatremia in blood. Whatever renal flow is there, and in that renal blood decrease in sodium, decrease BP flow, or decrease volume, right? So all these conditions, when this blood is going through renal artery, there are some channels which can sense the sodium concentration and volume of blood, JG cells, right? There is JG apparatus, juxtaglomeralar apparatus, in which there are JG cells which in response to these conditions they secrete renin. Okay, so whenever renin is secreted, what happens basically, this renin converts angiotensinogen, which is an inactive protein secreted from liver. Okay, so that angiotensinogen in presence of renin is converted into angiotensin 1, right? Angiotensin 1. This angiotensin 1 is basically converted into angiotensin 2 via some cells in lungs. Okay, there are some endothelial tubular cells in lungs which basically have this angiotensin converting enzyme, which is able to convert angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. So this is very simple. First, JG cell secrete renin, and in response to that, in presence of renin, angiotensin 1 forms, and angiotensin 2 in presence of ACE. Okay, fine. So this angiotensin 2 is a potent vasoconstrictor. So whenever there is vasoconstriction, there is increase in blood pressure, right? Increase in resistance, and which ultimately increase blood pressure. First thing. Second thing, this angiotensin 2, it acts on adrenal gland and stimulate the adrenal gland to secrete aldosterone. Okay, and what aldosterone do? It basically acts on tubules, renal tubules, to increase the activity of sodium potassium pump, and hence increase sodium reabsorption, and obviously which is followed by water reabsorption. So increase sodium reabsorption, increase water reabsorption. Ultimately, vasoconstriction and increase in sodium and water reabsorption, basically both the conditions contribute to increasing blood pressure. So RAS mechanism, which was stimulated because of decrease in blood pressure, it ultimately result in increase in blood pressure. Okay, so this is the RAS mechanism. If you get an exam, how to write that? So first of all, this flow chart is very necessary. If you can't draw it, you can directly write it in form of flow chart. So first of all, you can write that there is hypovolemia, then you can put an arrow, JG cell secrete renin, put an arrow again, angiotensin 1 to 2 conversion, angiotensin 2 which cause vasoconstriction, aldosterone secretion, aldosterone increase sodium and water reabsorption, and ultimately final arrow shows increase in BP. So that flow chart is also good for scoring, right? Okay, so otherwise if you draw this image, then you can write these things. The same thing I have written just to show you how to perform in examination. So renin is secreted in response to hypovolemia or decreased blood flow to JG cells. It converts the angiotensinogen from liver to angiotensin 1, which is converted to angiotensin 2 by ACE from lungs, angiotensin converting enzyme. Angiotensin 2 is main element here which stimulates adrenal gland to secrete aldosterone, and this is a potent vasoconstrictor. Aldosterone increases the sodium water reabsorption in renal tubule. Okay, angiotensin 2, so this act via GQ type of GPCR protein which activate phospholipase C. Phospholipase C pathway includes IP3 and DAG conversion further and increase calcium influx. So because of this increase in calcium influx, it causes smooth muscle constriction. So that causes the vasoconstriction. That's why angiotensin 2 is a potent vasoconstrictor. Along with this, whenever there is hypovolemia, angiotensin, it acts on hypothalamus and increase ADH secretion and stimulate thirst. So this also will read in hypothalamus topic. And for now you should be knowing that stimulation of thirst is also important whenever there is hypovolemia. So that is done by angiotensin receptors in our brain. And ADH, whenever ADH is secreted, this is anti-diuretic hormone. Okay. So ADH is basically anti-diuresis. The diuresis is inhibited. Whenever there is hypovolemia, diuresis should not be there, right? Inhibit excretion of water so that we can preserve BP. So in hypovolemia, it also helps by increasing thirst and increasing ADH. Okay. So this is all about RAS mechanism. So whenever you will be asked about long-term BP regulation, you have to write these two things: how kidney basically do natriuresis and diuresis, and second thing, the RAS mechanism. This is very simple. I feel I think the point is clear to you. If you have any query, you can comment below. Keep watching Cardiovascular System, and we'll be finishing it soon. If you want notes, you can comment below, or you can message on the WhatsApp number given below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy learning, guys. Bye bye.